Hi. Is your babies in your belly?
Most children who meet Sylvester for the first time notice the same thing. He can't move the way other opossums do, but then Sylvester starts doing something nobody expects. He walks into the classroom, looks around, and starts exploring everything like he owns the place. By the end of the visit, the kids aren't asking what Sylvester can't do anymore. They're talking about how brave he is. But Sylvester's story didn't begin in a classroom. It began with a tiny opossum, completely alone, at an age when he should still have been clinging to his mother as she carried him through the world. Our job is to care for injured and orphaned wildlife and help them return to the wild whenever possible. Most of the animals who come here are only expected to stay for a while. Sylvester was once expected to have that kind of future too. We don't know much about Sylvester's first few months of life. All we know is that someone found him when he was only about 3 or 4 months old. At that age, a young opossum would normally still be travelling with his mother, holding tightly onto her as she moved through the world around them.
Come on, oh, he likes this one here.
When Sylvester arrived at the centre, he was still very small and fragile, but over time we realised that his condition made things much more complicated. Sylvester couldn't safely survive on his own in the wild. That meant the future we had hoped for him might never be possible. So instead of trying to return Sylvester to a place where he couldn't survive, we started looking for another way to give him a meaningful life. And Sylvester seemed to have a few ideas of his own about what a good life should look like. I often put him in a harness and take him outside so he can explore while staying safe. But if you've ever taken a walk with Sylvester, you quickly realise that it is never going to be a quick walk. Sylvester has to sniff everything. He has to check every little corner. If something catches his attention, he stops to investigate it properly. One time, I even raised money to buy him a giant exercise wheel made for cats. I was convinced Sylvester would love it. But Sylvester took one look at the wheel and went right back to walking on his own 4 feet, one step at a time, exploring the world outside. Before I started volunteering here, I have to admit that I was afraid of opossums. Like so many other people, I only knew them through myths and misunderstandings. I used to think they might be aggressive or dangerous, but everything changed once I started spending time around them. The more I got to know them, the more I realised that opossums are actually incredibly gentle and fascinating animals. I started bringing Sylvester into classrooms to help children learn about wildlife. For many of them, it is the first time they've ever seen an opossum up close. At first, they usually notice the things that make Sylvester different, but I always try to direct their attention somewhere else. Instead of asking what Sylvester can't do, I want them to look at everything he can do, because Sylvester has never spent his time feeling sorry for himself. Sylvester doesn't wake up every morning wishing his life were different. He doesn't sit around thinking about all the things he may never be able to do. Sylvester simply lives. He explores the world, enjoys the little things, meets new people, and keeps moving forward. And the most wonderful thing usually happens after the children spend time with Sylvester. When they first walk into the classroom, they might be talking about his condition, but when they leave, they're usually talking about how brave Sylvester is. To me, that means we've accomplished exactly what we hope to accomplish. One of the hardest things about caring for opossums is knowing that their lives are often very short. That's why every day we have with Sylvester becomes incredibly precious. Every morning he wakes up, every walk he takes, every child who gets the chance to meet him, these are all moments we know we need to cherish. The other animals at the centre will have very different futures. They will return to the wild and begin completely new lives. But Sylvester's future is different. Because of his condition, he doesn't have the skills he would need to survive safely in the wild. Sylvester will stay here with us for the rest of his life. He will be surrounded by people who love him and care for him. He will continue going on walks, exploring the world, and meeting children who have never seen an opossum in real life. And in a way none of us could have predicted, Sylvester will continue to be a teacher. Sometimes I think about how differently Sylvester's story could have ended. A tiny opossum, completely alone in a huge world, at an age when he should still have been with his mother. Most animals who find themselves in that situation never get a second chance. But Sylvester did. And ever since that day, he has spent every day reminding us just how precious a second chance can be.
Here, look. Smell. It's for you. Yes. Come on, big guy.